What up, CTFxC? Before I get into my Spaceballs movie review, I want to say one thing to Charles and Allie. You guys are awesome! And thanks for starting this movie club. Love the idea. Let's begin. Spaceballs? Oh heck yeah! That is exactly what I said when I found out Spaceballs was going to be the first movie done on this CTFxCinema club. Oh, I was so excited. Two reasons why I was excited. One, I love this freaking movie. Two is it takes me back to my childhood because I was born in the 80s. So when I watch movies dating back to the 80s, it reminds me of when I was a kid watching movies, and it just reminds me of how far the film industry has come and the technology. So yeah, the special effects were not that great because you got to think it was 1987. One of the cool things I like about this movie is the director, Mel Brooks, not only directs the movie, but he also plays two characters. He plays the President Scroob of the Spaceballs ship, and he also plays the voice of Yogurt. I just thought that was a little fun fact. Speaking of cast members, you can't not mention John Candy. I mean, when you think about 80s movies, John Candy comes to mind. I mean, if anybody watches a lot of 80s movies, you probably see a lot of John Candy. And I wish I could just sit here and name off movies, but my head's kind of blank right now. I just can't seem to think. The only one that I can think of is Cool Runnings, but I don't think that was done in the 80s. I think that was like in the 90s. But that was a good movie too, don't get me wrong. If you haven't seen this movie, there's probably two reasons why you haven't seen this movie. One, you were born after 1987 and you don't like to watch movies before the year you were born. Two, you're just living under a rock. If you like watching movies, then you gotta watch Spaceballs, because that is one that I think everybody should watch at least 100 times. I don't know how many times I've seen it, because I watched it last night and I grew up watching this movie, and I was like, man, I forgot about all the little funny one-liners are in this movie, like combing the desert, and they're out there with a hair comb. Another one-liner that it really cracked me up. It was cheesy, but it cracked me up when John Candy, playing the character Barf, was like, how are we gonna block the radar? And he's like, well, I guess we're going to have to jam it. And then they threw raspberry jam. It was corny, but it's cheesy, but it's funny. I think the best reason I love this movie is because I don't watch a lot of space movies. I don't watch Star Wars, Star Trek, or really any other kind of space movie. I don't know why, it's just not my cup of tea. So if you're out there and you watch Star Wars and you watch all that kind of stuff, don't be hating on me because I don't like Star Wars or space movies. It's just not my cup of tea. But anyway, it being a Star Wars spoof and it having all these great character names, they're playing off of the characters from Star Wars, like Yogurt instead of Yoda, and they're doing Dark Helmet instead of Darth Vader. What's another one? Oh, instead of Jabba the Hutt, they say Pizza the Hut. And it got me thinking when I saw that last night. I was like, I wonder if Pizza Hut got any money with them saying that. I don't know, this is something I thought of. But anyway, I give this movie 5 stars. It was a great movie. It was a great movie that was produced and directed, back in the mid-80s or late 80s. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. It's a great movie. I mean, you can't go wrong with John Candy. I swear you can't. I love that. Rest in peace. I'm not sure when he died. It's been a while back, but he made some great movies. But anyway, thanks again, Charles and Allie, for making this movie club. Love the idea, and we'll see you next time.